Good morning, Lansing Journal readers. I am Melanie Youngsma, publisher of the Lansing Journal, here again this morning with Josh Bootsma, our managing editor.
Morning, everybody.
I want to give a quick shout out, Josh, to Bob Parent, who is one of our readers and supporters. And he left a comment on one of our posts last week reminding us that not everybody who reads or views the Lansing Journal lives in Lansing. And we've been opening these videos with Good Morning Lansing.
Right.
And we don't want to exclude anyone. We don't want to exclude any of our readership. And Bob is absolutely right. I looked at Google Analytics this morning, in fact, and Google Analytics will tell me where our readership or viewership is coming from. But I was surprised to learn this morning that our number one pocket of readership is coming from Chicago.
As of this morning?
As of this morning.
Wow.
Chicago slightly edged out Lansing.
Okay.
Usually Lansing is number one, but as of this morning, Chicago was number one, Lansing was number two, Cal City is number three. And then we have other locations like Schererville, Indiana, Hammond, Indiana, South Holland was in there. We even reached Cedar Lake, Indiana. They made the top 10 this month. So welcome everyone, and thank you for your readership. We appreciate knowing that you're out there, and forgive us for not acknowledging you in previous videos.
Yes, absolutely. What a day and age we live in where, you know, with a print newspaper you print it and there it goes and you don't really know where it ever ends up, but in this day of Google Analytics and all of those things, we can actually, that's pretty cool to have that information.
And it's one of the advantages of being an online newspaper. We can reach much farther than we could with our print edition.
And we're glad that all of you who are not in Lansing, we're glad you're tuning in and reading our stuff as well, because we do want to be a newspaper for the Lansing community and the surrounding area. So we appreciate all of you. Thanks for reading.
Josh, it's good to have you back next to me this week.
Yes.
Last week you were behind the camera.
That's right.
For our interview with Barbara Rick.
Yeah.
And that was fun. I enjoyed sitting next to Rick and chatting with him and learning about his business.
That was fun. That's a unique opportunity we had, and that's definitely something that we want to continue doing with some of these videos, is to highlight different parts of Lansing, frankly, whether it's a business, an organization like a church or government entity, people doing really cool, interesting things in town. If you're a big fan of the Lansing Journal, we're open to so many different things. This video format, as you know, has so much potential. So we'd like to include more people and organizations in these types of videos. Yeah,
we're thinking of calling it Local Spotlight. And we have some ideas about businesses and organizations that we would like to interview. But if you have ideas, we are open to those as well. And I'll put our email address in the story below so that you can click there and send us your ideas.
Yeah, please do that if you have good ideas. We'd love to hear them.
So let's talk about the past week of news.
Yes, indeed.
And Friday morning's email included one of my favorite stories of the past week. The story about the Pink Building on Ridge Road.
The Pink Building. You know exactly what we're talking about. If you live in Lansing and you've been on Ridge Road for the past handful of months, you know exactly which building we're talking about. It's on Ridge Road, directly across from Beggar's Pizza. It's a building that's been painted pink, and it's the future home of K Dulce Cafe, which is going to be a cafe that serves coffee in the morning, milkshakes later in the evening, sandwiches, crepes, pastries. They're going to have some catering options as well, all packaged in a very brightly colored and clean looking exterior and interior. So that's exciting for Lansing to host that kind of business. Yeah.
Absolutely. And great job getting that story. I've had so many people ask me if I know anything about that Pink Building.
Yes, right.
Over the past few months, and I didn't. And asked Josh about it, and he figured out who was in charge of that building and kept reaching out to them. Didn't get a response for quite a while, but his dogged determination finally made a connection with the owners of the Pink Building, and they invited him over for an interview. So great job on that story. make sure you check it out. He got some good pictures,
Yeah.
pictures of the food that they're going to serve that they had posted on their Facebook page, and pictures of what the interior looks like. So well done, Josh.
Yeah, thank you. The pair of entrepreneurs that are starting it, they're excited to bring this to Lansing. They're both originally from Guadalajara, Mexico, and so their offerings are going to have a Mexican inspiration. So that'll be fun and neat as well. Right now, they're eyeing an opening in September. They haven't set a specific date yet. At this point, they're thinking they might just have an open sign in the window one day, to not have a large crowd and have too many people on the first day or something, that they aren't able to provide good service. So
Yeah, you mentioned that in your story, and
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
yeah, so keep an eye out for that as we move from August into September. If you see an open sign, go on and check that out. I'm sure it'll be great. It's exciting for Lansing.
Yeah.
Another interesting piece of news from last weekend, actually, that you might have gotten lost in the 4th of July weekend, everything you were doing. Our writer Carrie Steinweg wrote a very interesting article, I think, on the history of the Lansing flag. Yes, Lansing does have a flag, even though you may not have noticed. It is all around town. You can find it at the Village Hall. You can find it at the Firefighters Memorial. It's actually in front of Memorial Junior High School as well, and a bunch of other locations across town. Yeah, it was good to get into the details a little bit. The
So that is
creation.
not the Chicago flag that's hanging
No.
in front of Village Hall.
No, it's not.
That's the Lansing flag.
That's the Lansing flag. Carrie put on her vexillological hat. That's the
What?
Vexillology is the study of flags.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So Carrie put on her vexillologist hat, and
Word of the day.
that's right. She did some good work. The Lansing flag was adopted in 2008, and the different parts of the flag have significance. There are 3 stars, and those stars are significant of the 3 original towns that eventually came together to form Lansing. And there's more significance, so check out that story. It's a very cool historical thing that you can drive past every day and know more about the flag.
Yeah, so those are the 2 main things we want to highlight about the past week. And then if you're watching this on Saturday morning, we want to make sure you realize that Saturday evening is cruise night in Lansing, the
That's right.
second of 3 cruise nights. And this one is special because the Lansing Journal is going to be there.
That's right. Melanie and I and one of our freelance writers, Katie Arvia, is going to be right outside Mancino's, right there on Ridge Road. We're going to have a table set up. You can stop by to just say hello. You can give us a story idea. You can ask us a question about something going on around town.
Like vexillology.
That's right. We could talk to you about vexillology. Anything. We'd love to talk to you. We're going to be there all of cruise night, and we'd love to see you.
Yeah, and we want to thank Mancino's especially for giving us that space in front of their restaurant. And a shout out to the Lansing Area Chamber as well. They are letting us store our table and banner in their building until cruise night, which makes it easier for us to find a parking spot that night and set up. So it's good to be part of a business community that supports each other and collaborates, and we are especially grateful to the Lansing Area Chamber and Mancino's.
Yeah, and that whole strip, speaking of businesses supporting each other, that whole strip along cruise night, businesses are going to be open. Looks like it's going to be a great night. And
Fingers
so,
crossed.
yeah, come on out, visit some businesses, say hello to the Lansing Journal while you're out. We'd love to see you.
I think that's a wrap for this week.
Sounds good.
Seemed short, didn't it?
Yeah, short and sweet.
All right, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Sophie.